Okay, so I think back in 2007, when she founded T2F, we used to get these emails from a person or an entity that I think we followed on it on Facebook, and then we started getting emails, and so we had this image of her and also of the the place, the space, and there were three friends, three of us, and we would always be like T2F चलना चाहिए, T2F चलना चाहिए, वहाँ ये भी होता है, वहाँ ये भी होता है, because that is one good thing that there were such regular updates, कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या होने वाला है, and these are the things available, like used books are available, used CDs are available, so we used to feel very excited about it. And then one day, of course, we managed to reach there, three of us, and there was some event. And as I said earlier, that since it was at a place which was not, which we did not used to visit very frequently, like it was in defense phase 2. So we took quite a while to find our way to where it was located. Especially I, ended up missing the event, which I was supposed to attend. So anyway, when I managed to reach there, my friends were there and we sat together. And people were like leaving at that time, and so the three of us were there, and we were just discussing, oh yeah, kitni achhi jagah hai, aur ye aur wo. And Sabeen joined us like after like the crowd was gone, and I remember she had a cigarette in her hand, and we were like, okay. So you cannot like you have this thing in your mind, and you end up having that opinion. Okay, smoking. So anyway, she sat with us, and then she introduced herself. Even though she did not need any introduction because we knew her from T2F, but she gave her card to us, and we just had a brief chat about. We were the ones kind of asking question after question. ये क्या है? ये आपने कैसे शुरू किया? And everything. But the thing was that she was from our age group. So, you would think that, okay, so somebody from this age group to take that kind of a step. While we were kind of professional, we were navigating our way from this, through this professional life, and sometimes it gets very intimidating. So it was very inspiring for us that this is a person who's not intimidated by all this, all this structure that comes with it, and she's taken that risk and she's taken that step. So it was great meeting her, and then we kept following her work. There was an interview in Newsline, and so Sabeen used to be a topic of our discussion every time we three would get together, or the two of us would, even on calls, अच्छा Sabeen Mahmud के बारे में और जानना चाहिए, ये है कौन, ये करती क्या है, अच्छा उसने फेसबुक पे ये लिखा, तो उसका मतलब ये है कि ऐसी है या वैसी है. So I remember because at that time उस वक्त इतना communication का वो नहीं होता था. So, I mean, that is something I wish I could tell Sabeen that, we used to talk these things about you. So, yeah, that was 2007. And then there was this, Salman Taseer's, after Salman Taseer's death, Sabeen and some of us became active on, this getting Pakistan rid of extremism and whatever. If there would be any initiative planned, we would just go there, thinking कि शायद इससे कुछ फर्क पड़ेगा और सब कुछ. So having Sabeen in such initiative would always be, a source of confidence. We would think, okay, maybe we're at the right place, because if she's there, then that means कि सही है ये initiative. So that was also a phase that I think we went through together, though we were not really together. Like with Sabeen, the thing is that I wasn't really fast friends with. I mean, we took a long time to break that ice, and again, it was very good that she would put her opinions on Facebook. Facebook was the popular medium at that time, and I think she used to blog as well. So we would follow her blogs as well, and so that's where we would know her better. And sometimes you would get intimidated, and sometimes you would be like, oh, okay, so she has the same kind of opinions that I have, and so you would not get too intimidated. But I think that is one thing that I'd like to emphasize, that the way she was taken away, uh, it was one of the biggest damages that it has done to us, like as a society, is that we were not able to get to know her better. So you need as much time to get to know a person, and also the person is also growing. So Sabine, I think there was a marked difference from the way we saw her in 2007 when she had newly started it. Then 2010, we were able to be on the same table, and you could listen what she was saying, and her frustrations and her excitement. Then I think 2014, 15, we again got to work together. That was a closer interaction. Again, this wave of terrorism started, and Sabine again became active. She had always been active, but she would take all the opportunities available to express her voice, make her contribution. And so in 2014, late 2014, we at Piler started working on this initiative about making Karachi peaceful, some violent extremism, etc. So हम चूंकि हम projects पे काम करते हैं, तो you organize events, etc. So Sabine would always be our consideration, that we have to invite her for any event that we were planning. So and she used to be running around so much. She would be managing T2F. She would be, I think she was traveling also a lot at that time. And then she was also involved in this initiative, Maulana Aziz Jalal Masjid Wala tha. It was around that time. So we organized this very huge conference, and we really wanted to have Sabine over there. And I was again very surprised the way she would be managing things. So, रात के 12 बजे भी she would reply to your mail, सुबह के 3 बजे भी, because she really wanted things to be in order, and also that the other person should not feel कि वो इतनी busy है कि वो जवाब नहीं दे सकी है, miss out ना हो जाए. So even though at our event, I remember that she had returned directly from the airport, and she just came and she just participated, and she wanted to stay around for longer. She kind of spoke very well, and in the middle of all those senior leadership, she was the one who stood out, and there was the audience was mostly youth, so they were like listening very eagerly to what she was saying. And then she, that humility of hers, that despite being a little bit of a celebrity that we always saw her as, she came to me and she kind of regretted that she could not stay longer because she just returned and she needs to be home or needs to go somewhere. So, and then she of course left. So I think that then when we were doing the post event media outreach, etc., we would highlight Sabine's comments and her presence in the meeting. Also then 2 months later, in February, as a part of the same initiative, we organized another session. We wanted to organize a session at T2F. I'm sorry, I'm like T2F because I'm also working for TKF, so I really have to not remember to, the difference. So there was this event that we had to organize in February because वो project की होती है ना कि इस वक्त से पहले खत्म करना है. So हमने सबीन को कहा कि हम आपकी space पे करना चाहते हैं and everything. और तो again without any questions, like she just wanted to know कि करना क्या है और वो किस वजह से है. And ऐसा नहीं है कि she would judge you कि वो आप तो project से आ रहे हैं और आप तो NGO है या कुछ भी. She was like, sure, आप करें. The space is available. She did not even talk money, which I found really surprising, because at the same time she was running this fundraising drive, 3K for T2F, something like that. So we knew that, that was something that was needed, but she never talked money. So एक हमने वो इवेंट वहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइज करने की कोशिश की, और उससे 2 हफ्ते पहले हमने एक मूवी शो की थी वहीं पर. I wasn't around at that time, but one of my colleagues did, and we did a showing of some documentary on climate change, and Sabeen was very closely involved. I wasn't there, so Sabeen actually did everything and made the invites and everything. But I can't speak more about it because I wasn't there. But anyway, this one she did, and I remember कि हमने text बनाया, invitations का and everything. And I was again in Lahore for some work, and I was to get there a day later, and the event was to happen. And Sabeen, I remember that she, like she was in so much in the organizing everything so closely. Like she would have the grip on everything. She wouldn't leave it to other people. So I mean, not that she did not trust people, but she also wanted to make sure that things are organized well enough. So उसने मुझे कोई हमारी फ़ोन पे बात हुई, and I said कि ये जो इनवाइट है ये आपकी ऑडियंस को हम देना चाहते हैं, the TKF T2F mailing list. And she was I think at that time she was like really अच्छा, मुझे तो लगा कि जैसे आप अपने ऑडियंस को करना चाहते हैं. So there was this misunderstanding, and she I think she suddenly realized that very little time is left and she really has to speed it up. So she did not even finish, what होता है ना खुदा हाफिज़ and pleasantry. She just she was like, okay, I have to go. And then she immediately sent out the invites to her list. And the next day we had this event in which her list, the members from her list, T2F's list, were there in great numbers. I think जगह भी नहीं थी वहाँ पे, लोग खड़े हुए थे और हम 4 लोग थे. I was moderating the event. There was Arif Hassan Sahab, Karamat Ali Sahab. There was this very cute person from Liari, whose name I'm sorry I'm not able to recall, but he was there representing Liari, and Sabeen was the speaker, also one of the speakers. So we did this event. I think it went on for 1.5 hours or 2 hours, and we talked about कि Karachi की history, peace की history, and communities और किस तरह रहती थी और किस तरह अब उनको जोड़ा जा सकता है. So Sabeen represented that future. So other speakers like Arif Sahab and Karamat Sahab would talk about माजी and क्या होता था और क्या करने की ज़रूरत हो सकती है. But Sabeen was the practical solution. And those are, as I earlier mentioned, that those were her words कि हम यहाँ बैठे हैं और हमें तो किसी ने कुछ नहीं कहा, तो आप डरें मत. That's what she was trying to say कि अब तक हम जो काम कर रहे हैं तो उसमें ठीक है, अच्छा होता है, बुरा होता है, लेकिन डरने की कोई बात नहीं है. और आप ये इनिशिएटिव इस तरह का लें और हम आपको मॉडल बता सकते हैं, तो आप इस तरह के और T2Fs दूसरे इलाकों में बनाएं. So she was telling the youth, the participants कि ये doable है. So that was our biggest takeaway from that meeting. And then so many unfortunate things happened. So I think कि वहाँ पर जैसे होता है कि एक सबीन का एक ये था कि I think one of the things that was about her was that she would not let fear come in her way. And I think वो जो उनके आखिरी अल्फाज थे हमारी उस मीटिंग में कि डरने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. I think वो जो उनका रिस्क टेकिंग का है, बिकॉज जैसे मैं कह रही हूँ कि कई मरतबा आपको उनकी फेसबुक पोस्ट से भी लगेगा she would sometimes be frustrated, things not working out, things being the peculiar way they are in this city, in this country, and फिर भी आप चलते रहें. So that was primarily her message. And I think as I earlier said, that it's so unfortunate that the wonders that she would have done, or maybe she would not have done. She would have grown like a normal person does. और कभी आप फेल होते हैं, कभी आप कामयाब होते हैं, लेकिन आप किसी को उसके रास्ते पे चलने तो दें. The way her life was ended was not just about the damage to her family, but I think the entire city. And it was a message for everybody. Like Sabeen कहती थी कि डरे मत, लेकिन उसने वाकई डरा दिया उस चीज़ ने. और शायद वो it's been how many years? 7 years, and it hasn't. वो जो डर है वो ख़त्म नहीं हुआ. सबीन के जाने के बाद हमने कोशिशें की, कुछ कुछ इनिशिएटिव्स की, कुछ आवाज़ उठाने की, जो भी समझ आता था. So that was also one of the things कि सबीन जब थी तो हम अगर आपकी समझ नहीं आ रहा हो तो यू वुड हैव दिस स्पेस, आप कभी किसी के साथ आइडियाज रन बाय करते हैं, वो कोई सोल्यूशन दे देता है। वो एक सबीन के होने से वो कॉन्फिडेंस था कि एक ऐसा इंटरेक्शन हो सकता है, चलो सबीन से पूछ लेंगे वो क्या कहती है। लेकिन उसके जाने के बाद तो कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता था। तो एक जो डर था, जो वो वाकया हुआ, और उसके बाद जो एक आप your inability to put together your thoughts and to be able to deal with that thing that is not cannot be seen but that is very much there, तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा डैमेज था जो आई थिंक हम सब ने ही सफ़र किया उसकी वजह से। तो जस्ट अ कपल ऑफ एनेक्डोट्स आई थिंक जो आप जब वो ये वाली ड्राइव कर रही थी 3K for T2F, आई रिमेम्बर इसी तरह का टाइटल था। एंड जो T2F का कैफे है उसमें एक बर्गर होता था NA250, she would create these fun things कि वो NA250 बट कबाब उसमें होता था, एंड दैट वाज आवर फेवरेट, लाइक हम तो वही खाने जाते थे उनके कैफे में। तो मैंने फिर थोड़ा सा कंट्रीब्यूट किया उसके अंदर, और मैंने उनको लिखा एक नोट के साथ कि टू माय फेवरेट प्लेस एंड with in return for a promise that NA250 bun kebab will never be like discontinued. So then she sent me a personal message, even though I hadn't really mentioned my name, लेकिन ये of course वो checkbook पे मेरा ही नाम लिखा हुआ है। तो इतना वो करना कि to reach out to me personally and saying कि हाँ it will not be discontinued ever. So yeah, I think she kept that promise because that bun kebab stayed there. And little things like जैसे उनका वो था कि बर्थडे पे विश करना, हालांकि अगेन एज आई सेड दैट वी couldn't become close friends जैसे होता है दूसरे के साथ hang out करना, but she would, especially in the last events that we used to organize, we had organized, after you would say pleasantry खुदा हाफिज etc, she would always say कि हमें काम एक साथ, we must work together, let's talk about how we can work together. And then one day she called me up, and I was watching Netflix and I was watching House of Cards. And again, House of Cards I learned from her Facebook post. So I became curious about it and I started following it. And then of course House of Cards was something that you would become addicted to. I'd become addicted to it. So she called me up for some work. Like there was some initiative and she wanted to ask if she could give my number to them. तो मैं बहुत ज़्यादा वो थी, जैसे आई वाज सो इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द शो दैट आई वाज लाइक या ओके, मेरी नज़र थी उसी पे थी, मॉनिटर पे थी, एंड आई वाज टॉकिंग टू हर। फिर जब हो गया तो फिर मैंने फेसबुक पे लिखा कि इट्स सो एडिक्टिव, एंड आई वाज वाचिंग इट एंड देयर वाज अ कॉल, आई रोट समथिंग लाइक दैट, एंड so she responded to that post. She was like, I'm sorry. So I was like, I'm not going to forgive you for that. But I kept looking at the monitor and I rewound it so that, I do not miss anything. So I think that is that was the thing about her, that to have that kind of an inspiration and somebody you could look up to, but also somebody you could connect with. हम एक और इनिशिएटिव के साथ भी थे जिसमें हम अगेन सबीन का कोई सबीन की अगर हम उसको ज़्यादा बैठ के उसके साथ बात करते तो हम समझते, बट सबीन हैड नो सेंस ऑफ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन। तो वो कहीं भी बात हो रही होती थी कम्युनिटीज़ की, लोगों की, माहौल की, तो ऐसा कभी भी वो पीछे नहीं हटती थी। तो एक इनिशिएटिव था जिसमें ये था कि वो कराची में न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट्स बन रहे थे, और हम पायलर में थोड़ा सा हमने इसके ऊपर वो इशू लिया, एंड दैट एक्चुअली कॉस्ट पायलर अ लॉट, लाइक लेटर, बट पायलर स्टार्टेड दिस डायलॉग ऑन व्हाई इट इज़ प्रॉब्लमैटिक, और उसमें उन्होंने परवेज फुटबॉय वगैरह को भी बुलाया, और तो वी हैड अ सीरीज ऑफ सच मीटिंग्स। तो वंस the authorities learned that there are these set of people who are concerned about it, so they also kind of came forward and they said okay, let's have a dialogue again. तो हमारी मुख्तलिफ जगहों पे मीटिंग्स होती थी, उसमें लोग अपने स्पेसेस देते थे। जो अमीन हाशवानी है, उन्होंने 1-2 मरतबा हमारी मैरियट में उन्होंने स्पेस दिया कि आप वहाँ पे आके मीटिंग करें। फारूक सत्तार आते थे। और तो मुझे याद है कि एक मरतबा कुछ ऐसा हुआ कि लाइक कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स एंड समटाइम दे कैन गेट रियली एंग्री, एंड सो हम लोग सब बैठे हुए थे, यही मैरियट टाइप की कोई जगह थी, एंड एवरीबडी वाज डूइंग अ चढ़ाई ऑन फारूक सत्तार बिकॉज दे सॉ हिम। एक तो वो पॉलिटिशियंस होते हैं, तो पॉलिटिशियंस को लोग वैसे इतना बुरा बुरा कहते हैं, तो सब लोग कहते कि हाँ ये तो आपकी वजह से हुआ, और लोग MQM को वैसे ही थोड़ा सा नेगेटिवली देखते हैं कराची में। तो सबीन वाज द वन हु देन पहले तो हम देखते रहे कम्युनिटीज बहुत ज़्यादा नेगेटिवली उनको वो कर रहे थे, एंड देन सबीन पोलाइटली बट वेरी फॉर्मली सेड कि आप सुने वो क्या कह रहे हैं, आप सुन तो लेना। तो जब सबीन ने कहा ना, तो फिर सारे लोग हो गए, लाइक कूल डाउन होना शुरू हो गए, एंड फारूक सत्तार देन वाज एबल टू स्पीक। सो जैसे मैं समझती हूँ कि उसमें कोई कोई जजमेंट नहीं थी, और अगर थी भी तो she was conscious that she has to not bring it forward and just give people the space, the opportunity to express themselves. कि आई थिंक सबीन के जाने के बाद जैसे माइनास को ये बहुत फेस करना पड़ता था कि हाउ टू डिस्क्राइब सबीन। कोई कहता था वो ह्यूमन राइट्स एक्टिविस्ट है, कोई कहता था वो एंटरप्रेन्योर है, या तो वो जो एक होता है ना कि बॉक्स करना किसी भी चीज़ को या डिस्क्राइब करना वर्ड्स में, तो आई थिंक सबीन नहीं उसमें फिट होती है। और शायद अगर मैं अपनी रिलेशनशिप की बात करूँ तो शायद मेरे पास वर्ड्स हैं ही नहीं। I cannot really call herself as a colleague because we did not even sit in the same space and work. Friends भी नहीं थे, but she was just somebody I was really fascinated with, and I really wanted to follow her work. And जहाँ भी मुमकिन हुआ, she and I took the opportunity to कहीं भी एक ऐसा space जहाँ पर हम contribute कर सकते हो, but she was the lead. She was always the lead, and I think the way she used to express herself, the way she would take all these forums to express, and have a dialogue, that she saw T2F as a place जो dialogue को promote करे, and I think वो उसकी personality का हिस्सा था, and maybe that is what it was really about, कि that is what she thought कि कम्युनिटी से लेके फ्रेंड्स फैमिली में डायलॉग होने की ज़रूरत है। आई थिंक वन ऑफ द लास्ट थिंग दैट शी डिड जब वो इवेंट होने वाला था, फेटफुल इवेंट, उससे 1-2 रातें पहले शी पोस्टेड दिस पोस्ट अबाउट ऑन फेसबुक कि ये जो डायलॉग है अबाउट दीज थ्रेट्स, एंड शी वांटेड टू गेट एडवाइस फ्रॉम पीपल ऑन हाउ टू नेविगेट दैट। So I think that is what the spirit of dialogue is, that you open yourself up and you share your concerns, but also again I think dialogue, and then not let fear come in your way, because she was keen, she did not take into consideration any what threats भी, और जो एक होता है ना कि लोग कहते हैं कि आप ये क्या कर रही हो, ये रिस्क है, everything. She really did not want to be thinking about that. She was trying to look for solutions, and इतना कि उसने अपने आप को बिल्कुल सामने रखा कि भाई मैं ये what do you think about it. तो she saw T2F as a space for all, and जैसे वो सबकी कंसल्टेशन के साथ चलाना चाहती थी उसको. So yeah, I think that is also something that I noticed about her and miss about her.